Good morning. It's Friday, April the 11th. Man, my girl will be home tomorrow afternoon from her week trip to Florida playing softball. So I'm excited about that. She called me last night and she said that she was ready to get in her own bed. Now, she has been staying in a condo type room with uh, 5 other girls. And she said, it's harder on me since I'm an only child, that she likes her quietness. And last night she said, I can't hardly settle down because, they were laughing and talking and so forth. So we'll all be glad to have her back home very soon. I was thinking about her adoption story, and you've seen the first 2 parts of it, I guess, which were the most exciting and challenging, actually. I think where I left off is that her birth mother was getting ready to get out of prison, and she did get out of prison the end of October. So she had been with us May, June, July, August, September, October, about 5 months. And during that time, she had started calling me mom. And the first time she called me mom, it really affected me. And I kept trying to get her to call me Mimi, but she never would call me Mimi. But when her mom got out of prison, she called. Of course, she had my phone number and wanted me to bring her to the county where she lives in, which was about an hour away. And I didn't feel comfortable doing that because, honestly, I didn't trust her, and I was afraid she would try to grab her and take off with her. So I talked to the lawyer, and he said if she wants to see the child, that she should come here, and we would meet in just a mutual place. So we decided to meet at McDonald's. And it was my husband, me, my girl, and I had a few other people stationed around in McDonald's that were friends of mine, but they weren't going to acknowledge us while we were in there, just in case. So the birth mom comes, and she has a couple of ladies with her, and she's not very friendly because, number one, she didn't want to come over this far to have to meet her. She wanted me to come over there. And it wasn't a very successful visit. Of course, my girl didn't know her, and the birth mom wanted to hold her, and you can imagine how that went. But we did that a couple of times, and it just was not successful at all. Just the birth mom would end up about half mad when she left. So at that time, I was working at an office just for a few days a week, and my girl was visiting with a friend of mine while I was working that day. And I got a phone call from the birth mother, and she was in a rage, and she said that I had lied to her, excuse me, that I had lied to her and that she was on her way over here to get her. I mean, there was no reasoning with her at all. So I hung the phone up and I called my husband, who at that time, for some reason, maybe it was raining or that he wasn't working that day, and told him that she was on her way over here. So she must have been pretty close, because by the time I jumped in my car and drove home, which was about 10 or 11 miles, she was already at my house with another female and a male, just in a rage, wanting her. And I was so glad that my girl was not even here at that time, so that, we didn't have to deal with that. But fussed back and forth, she was screaming at me and telling me she was going to do all this and all that. So finally we had to call the police, and they came, and you know, told her to leave. And then we were advised to go to the county attorney, and he gave us a 2-year, let's see, it was a charge about communication, no communication for 2 years. So if she contacted us within 2 years, she would be put back in jail or maybe prison, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's another way the Lord just worked it out, that our life could be smooth. But I was always on the alert because I didn't know what she might do. So after the 2 years, then we started trying to do the adoption. And if you've ever been through the court system, you know what I mean, that everything moves so slowly. And they would send her a letter, you know, to come to court such and such date about the daughter, about custody and so forth. And she never would respond, never got back. And so then we'd have to wait a while and then go on, do it again. And we actually didn't get to adopt her till she was 7 years old. But during that time, the birth mom never contacted us, never gave us any trouble. But, you know, I was always on the alert, afraid that she might. You didn't know what she might do. But anyway, we adopted her when she was 7. Today, she is 17. And I'm telling you that I have never 1 minute regretted doing what we did, because she has been such a loving child, grateful, appreciates, thankful, and so many people say to me, "Oh, she is so blessed to have you." Well, let me tell you, I am so blessed to have her, because at this age, and me retiring, and I guess feeling like you needed to be loved or needed somebody to care for, we've met each other's needs, I think. So we just have a special bond. I'm not saying she's perfect. We have our moments of disagreeing, but she's been a real good kid, not giving us any trouble, not had to worry about her. And I just pray that I can live long enough to watch her be successful in life and love what she's doing. And I'm excited about her going to college this fall. She's going to be quite a ways from home, but she can come home on the weekends if she wants to. So we'll just see how that works out. But just up until then, I'm going to enjoy every day that we have together and see how it goes. So, you know, there's a lot of stories I could tell you, and I may think of some later to tell you. One thing I was going to say, do you remember when I was talking to that lady that she lived with for a while in another state, and she told me, she had all these problems and all this. Well, as soon as we got her, I had her tested, and she passed them with flying colors. There was nothing wrong with her. And since she's been in school, she's made A's and B's and maybe 1 or 2 C's, not much. Good student, smart. So that kind of proved another point. But I just thank the Lord for sending her into my life and making it so happy and worthwhile. So if you've got you may have an adoption story, and I've got another one that's not so happy, but I don't think I want to talk about that just yet. You know, I've always liked to read and like write little things down and all this. And I found this that I wanted to read to you. And I've also found the other day this really funny story that I'm going to read to you. Not today because it would be too long. But this one is that people of all ages answer the question, what have you learned in life? What's something important that you've learned in life? So this 53-year-old said, I've learned that regardless of your relationship with your parents, You miss them terribly after they die. That you miss your parents terribly after they die. That's so true. Someone 62 years old said, I've learned that life sometimes gives you a second chance. Boy, isn't that good that we do get a second chance many times. Someone 64 said, I've learned that you shouldn't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands. You need to be able to throw something back. Someone 66 said, I've learned that whenever I decide something with kindness, I usually make the right decision. Someone 72 said, I've learned that everyone can use a prayer. A 73 said, I've learned that it pays to believe in miracles. I must have written that. Someone 82 said, I've learned that even when I have pains, I don't have to be one. That kind of makes me think of my mom. All through my life, I don't remember her complaining like, oh, my head's hurting, or oh, I don't feel good. And she had migraines. But how many people have you been around that anytime you see them, they're sick, or they're going to the doctor, or this is hurting, or that's hurting? And you know what? Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear that. All right. Someone 85 said, I've learned that every day you should reach out and touch someone. People love that human touch, holding hands, a warm hug, or just a friendly pat on the back. Isn't that true? Someone 92 said, I've learned that I still have a lot to learn. That's at 92. That's all of them. But I just thought that was interesting. I took a little short video up at my little house the other day that I want to add on to this. And then I had a video of showing you my strawberries, how they've grown a little bit since I put that fertilizer on them and they've had all that rain on them. And Max and me were going out to feed the horses. Now, I'm telling you, you know that I don't edit videos. I don't halfway know what I'm doing. But I want to add that on there because there are some good pieces in it and there's some bad pieces. There's some really bad. My iPad, it's what I record on, it fell down one time and on the haystack that I had it propped up on. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. But I thought you might enjoy it. Those horses are so sweet. And I'm constantly, when I watched it back and I thought, I'm always fussing at Max to quit trying to aggravate the horses. But hey, that's the highlight of his day. He is in the house all the time because I'm afraid he'll run off. He's just a house dog. And I don't know why I keep getting after him to try to stop because he's not going to. And I don't really mean it. I guess it's just a habit of saying it. But I hope you'll enjoy that. And guys, this is Friday. It's cloudy here in Kentucky like it's going to rain. I don't know if it is or not. But I'm looking forward to my girl being home tomorrow. And Sunday, she's having some prom pictures taken in her prom dress. And the prom's going to be here before you know it. And then there's also a senior class trip. They're going to New York City, flying to New York City, which is a great experience. She's flown a couple of times already, but I'm sure some of the kids haven't flown before. So just have a great weekend and enjoy each day and try to find peace where you are and be kind to everybody else. And let's just continue to share stories. And if there's something that you think I could tell you that you'd like to hear, just let me know in the comments. I love to get the comments. So see you later. Bye-bye. Hey, I'm up here at my little house, and I told you in a story the other day that my parents lived in the house right next door to the little house that I bought. And I just wanted you to see these beautiful trees that my mom and dad set out. many years ago. There's 2 or 3 dogwoods, and then here is a pink dogwood that you don't see very often. And it was just real small, but they're a lot harder to raise than the white dogwoods, because you see white dogwoods out in the woods a lot of times. But I want to walk up here. I want to let you see how pretty these trees are. But I also want you to see this little, let me see if I can point at it. It's right here. It's right here. You see that mailbox, and then the tree before the mailbox, there's like a big rusty wheel sitting there. My mom set that out there years. She died in 93, so I'm not even sure when it was she set that out there, and put a rose bush, planted a rose bush by it. And it's still there all these years later, but I don't think it has a rose bush. But I'm standing in the yard of my little house, and I drove up and saw these trees, and I just wanted to show them to you, how pretty they are. Now, the house I used to live in, the old house, was that dogwood right there. Probably the edge of the house was about right there. And it was in the front of this new house. Oh, I can hear the birds. And just here in our little small town, we just have a little traffic. This is right here on Main Street. Okay, I just hope you'll enjoy seeing that. Thought I would show you the strawberries, how they're starting to grow, and I put that fertilizer on them the other day. There's a little wind chime. And then here's my hydrangea. This thing is beautiful every summer, and it makes big, puffy. Look how that's coming up. I cut some of those sticks off last fall. Big, light bluish lavender blooms. I'll show it to you later in the summer. Where Max went, we were going to go feed the horses. Look at the dogwoods today. How beautiful here at the house. Come on, buddy, let's go feed. Apple trees out there. Or that one, we had to cut one of them down. It was just dead. I can hear the birds tweeting. Max is disappointed because the horses are already in the barn. So he's not going to get to run them in today. We finally got the yard mowed. And it was very thick and clumpy. But that's the way it is. It's been raining so much we couldn't. I see a little horsey head. There is a groundhog. See where Max is down there in that corner? There's a groundhog that has a hole right there. Well, look at those babies. Look at those babies. Oh, he just loves to aggravate them. They've still got a big bale of hay in there, but they've been enjoying getting out and actually eating some grass. Hi guys, how are you today? How are you today? Huh? Like he's been rolling a little bit in the dirt. Hey Hershey. Hey Hershey. Hey pretty girl. Hey pretty girl. How are you today? Are you guys ready to eat your supper? It's a little early, but you gotta eat it when you can get it. Hey buddy. Hey Max. I'm gonna see if I can set this. Now I'm gonna set that up there and maybe you all can see them. Get in there. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Huh? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? I buy these big containers of these peppermints because they love them. Hey, get down. So I give them 2 each for dessert. Hey, stop, stop. Max, stop. I'm cutting the papers off of them so I can, and then Max has got to have him one. So I'll find him one right here. Here's you one. They're really soft. They're soft. Sometimes I bring them a carrot or apple. Oops. Hey, get down. Get down. Starting to get some flies on them, and in the summertime the flies are so aggravating. My girl keeps them sprayed up pretty good so they don't get too bad. Stop. This is Max's highlight of the day, getting to jump up here and try to get the horses. Isn't it, buddy? Hey. Stop. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Max. Here. Get away. No. No. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to do that? Is that good, Sissy? You got licked it clean, haven't you? Stop. Stop. Can you hear her crunching that peppermint? Stop. Stop. I'll get her bowl over here. See? There's her second peppermint. Peppermint. Oh, that's so good. Okie dokie. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Pretty girl. Oh, pretty girl.